Okay, so we got some snatch presses and then some snatch balances and then 10 sets of like 1 rep, just kind of building.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
How often do you guys train the snatch and clean and jerk? Too much?
We hit it like 2 times a week each.
Is that like standard for CrossFit, or do you think that's
I would say it's pretty standard.
Yeah.
I think the thing that changes with CrossFit is how much people squat.
Really?
Yeah.
How much do you guys squat?
Twice a week, which I hate. I actually prefer to like be squatting like 3 times a week.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you done that ever, like 3 times a week?
Yeah. I was really strong. Switched over to like following like this program kind of full time, and I'm still kind of like adjusting a little bit. I kind of add in like a 3rd squat day sometimes, just like on my own, but it'll be like Saturday I'll add in some like Anderson front squats or like things like that. Just I have like, my legs are never the thing that like hinders me. It's always like my thoracic strength. So
there's not really a need for a 3 time a week? You just like prefer it?
It's more of like that 3rd time is like I like to hit some kind of like front rack positioning.
Yeah.
So whether it's like pause front squats or like the bottom up front squats, like just something like that. So it's not necessarily because I'm like trying to build like the strength. Like sometimes I'll do like really, really heavy box squats.
Okay.
Just like in the front rack position. So I just kind of try to hit that positioning in some kind of form at least twice a week. Yeah. So I have like the front squat days, and then I try to add in like a supplemental like day for me, just personally. Yeah. So I had like a knee thing that was going on since like July of last year, and so I didn't like squat a lot, and like stupidly didn't do like the thoracic, like just I didn't just do like front rack holds, like kind of keep that strength. So because I wasn't squatting, I lost a lot of that. So like I'm like trying to rebuild strength from like essentially like 7 months of like no squatting.
Really?
So
what was the knee thing you had? So
I had a like 70% torn patella tendon, a bursa sac.
Oh shit.
And like, yeah, it was so rough.
Did you get surgery on it?
No, I got PRP with ozone.
Did that help?
Yeah, a lot.
I had a 70% quad tendon tear.
That's, okay, well that's brutal.
Yeah.
That's so brutal.
I did have to get surgery on that one.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, PRP's not going to do shit on that.
Yeah, I know. I asked about it, and they were like,
you got to go under the knife.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
When was that?
2018.
Oh, okay.
But it was like a 3-year injury. It took a long time.
Anything quad related below.
And like my hips are still uneven from it.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
I do want to get a pair of lifters because that's where I'm at. It's like a lot of the warfare.
Man, fuck. John?
There you go.
How long have you been weightlifting?
Since 2012.
Okay, what got you into it?
CrossFit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, you started off in CrossFit?
Yeah, I did it for like 3 months.
Oh, and you said fuck that.
Yeah.
Fair. So fair.
My whole family, they're all very strong.
Okay.
But they're, like my dad, he's 55 now and he can still squat 500 pounds. So I'm like,
that's pretty sweet.
Should probably be a strong guy instead of like a fit guy.
That's kind of like how my family is. Like they've always been like super fit, but like, and like athletic, but my dad is someone where like, you know when you just like look at someone and you just like look at something like their calves or their elbows and they're like, that person's like really fucking strong. Yeah, that's my dad.
Really?
Yeah, I got all genetics from him.
Is he strong still?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's like 64 and still like, I'm pretty sure like if I was trapped under a car, like I'd be like, call dad. Like anybody, like no one, I want dad.
He's got the jaws of life on him.
Yeah, he's just this like tank of a dude. Dude, my knees.
I know.
I don't even know why. Probably because I was doing max effort wall balls yesterday. Yeah, that's what it was.
How important is it for CrossFitters to have like excess strength?
honestly, it just makes like so much stuff like easier. Like if you think about like when you're exhausted, like in the middle of a workout, like if you're just a stronger athlete and you got to go and like lift a barbell, lift a sandbag, carry a sandbag, like just having like that strength like really helps out. It's about like finding the balance between like how strong like you can get versus like how much extra weight you're carrying. Back in what I like to call like the golden years of CrossFit, I think from like probably like 2014 to probably 2018. I think 2019 games is where I took like a pretty big turn for like pure endurance kind of stuff. I think I would have like body types like mine and like strength athletes who still could do like fitness, CrossFit fitness, like, you know, the stereotypical CrossFit fitness. Those were like the golden years. And then I think like now it's more of like, could you complete like a triathlon like in a decent time while also still maintaining like a decent like strength? Like for females, like can you still like snatch like 190, 195, clean and jerk at least 245, and then be able to run like really, really well. So like it's taken a major shift from what I think it used to be about. So now it's more of like high endurance and like not so much like CrossFit like endurance. And it's like totally different. So I mean like the strength aspect is super important for like most workouts, but like it's really taken a shift to like you just need to have like a decent amount of strength to be able to like get through most of the workouts nowadays. And then like if there's like a 1 rep max, like you just kind of are like you're cool with like middle of the field. Unless you're just like, you know, top of the line.
I've seen like CrossFitters do the transition from CrossFit to weightlifting, not like a full switch, but they'll jump over to weightlifting and they always do pretty well.
It's, like, I mean, well, the body awareness, like that's like, I think a huge factor as well, is because you're doing like so many other things. You have to be very like skilled at a lot of gymnastics movements. And so you have this body awareness that translates over to the Olympic weightlifting, which is like why I found it so easy to come into CrossFit, because my background is like, I was a competitive gymnast and then I had like an injury. I did, you know, volleyball, track, Olympic, like diving. And then I did like springboard diving. And then I did, like, I was on rowing scholarship for my freshman year of college.
So you did like
I had
5
like
different sports.
Yeah, so I had like the perfect lead up like into CrossFit, and because of my gymnastics background, like I had like great body awareness, which is why I picked up everything. And then like, I'm not gonna lie, like I have great genetics, so like I have strong genetics.
Yes, that
helps.
helps.
And so it helps a lot.
Yeah.
Like I would say like, if you were gonna pick like 2 different athletes, like one who's like naturally strong or one who's like a naturally good like runner or something like that, the journey is a lot easier for someone who comes into it naturally strong.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I mean, like, you could go and like do all this like endurance stuff and you can CrossFit and you can like get better at that, but like there are girls who will never in a million years be able to like lift the amount that I lift just because of their body type. And if I like worked at it for like 2 years, I could probably maybe keep up with them at running if I wanted to. But reverse, like there are some girls who like, it would just be impossible. So it's just kind of like genetics really plays a big factor.
Yeah. Got to get a little lucky. Oh, hold on. What are the sets and reps for this?
So I'm just like kind of playing around with the snatch balances right now. And then we'll go every 90 seconds for 10 sets, just one snatch, building up in weight, starting at like 70% and just kind of like building off feel.
Cool.
Yeah.
I came on the right day.
Yeah.
Heavy singles.
Right?
I was ready to do like hang triples or hang 5s or something. So yeah.
Well, we've got like the open like starts tomorrow, so like the open workout, like so the season starts, so it's kind of like a deload for like like weightlifting. The past 2 weeks were like brutal. So, I was
gonna, what's like open prep like? How is it different from like off season?
I mean, off season is more like people will come in here and just, you know, have fun. Yeah. Like maybe follow the programming, maybe not.
Yeah.
Like,
just do whatever.
Yeah, and just like have like a good time. You know, it starts like probably like the beginning of January is when people start getting pretty strict about like following the programming and like doing the movements and stuff that we'll see in the open. A lot more like endurance, because like everyone knows like an open style workout is very just like, it's just brutal. Like it's a lot of times like lighter weight, moving really fast, transitions are important. There's like the standard movements that you know you're gonna see every single open. So you start doing more and more of that. It becomes pretty like repetitive, like heading into the open. And then like the week like leading into it, we have like, yesterday was, say Wednesday?
Yes.
Yeah. So Monday was kind of like a harder like volume day, and then yesterday was pretty like low key. Today will be low key. Most of us will take like tomorrow completely off, and then come in, move a little bit like Friday morning, and then do the workout Friday night.
Gotcha.
So yeah, you're hitting a nice little sweet spot. Yeah.
Perfect. The best way to support the series is to sign up for the Dog Pack. The Dog Pack is a complete weightlifting program. It is updated week by week, and there's many different variations of it. You can do even focus, RPE based, snatch focus, strength focus, clean and jerk focus. There's a speed workout option if you want to get the workout done in 30 minutes or less. Just kind of takes the important stuff and crunches it down. There's also a video technique manual on there. There's videos on every single exercise that teach you how to perform it. There is the 4-week squat cycle. The squat cycle that's responsible for thousands of PRs has just been added to the app. You get it for free when you sign up. There's a community page. There's a progress page where you can track your metrics. It is the complete and total package for everything Dozer weightlifting and everything you need to make progress in the sport of weightlifting. Click the link below and sign up for your free trial. Back to the video. How long did you do gymnastics for?
Competitively for 12 years. Like I started like doing little tumble tots when I was like 3.
Yeah.
I did my first competition when I was 7. And then like from there just, yeah.
Was that your first sport?
Yeah.
Do you think that helped you a lot with this stuff?
Hell yeah. Yeah, I did. A lot. So, I mean, we talked about it a little bit. The body awareness was huge, but honestly, it's like the residual flexibility. It's like helped me kind of like, my knee thing was like very mellow compared to like a lot of injuries that people have gotten within like the CrossFit space. And I don't stretch. I'm gonna say it. I don't stretch. I'm pretty terrible. No.
Damn. I mean, it's
and
like
I attribute it to like just like the residual flexibility. Like I can still do all my little splits. Like it's.
I swear it's like a layer of protection you get when you've done gymnastics, because a lot of weightlifters come from gymnastics. Yeah. You can always tell they have a good overhead position, their mobility is good, and like the injury rate with them is so much lower than everyone else. Yeah.
Well, it's also like you find that the injury rate is lower, but we also struggle with things like being almost like too flexible. Like sometimes like our squat will be way like weaker than like someone like you who just like comes from like not a gymnastics background. Like you guys, like
very immobile.
But no, I would say the flexibility thing is like a huge, but they say like gymnasts, because we stretch so much and we do like the hyper splits and stuff, like we permanently like tear stuff, which is why we stay like flexible, because like we just like physically can't go back to like,
it's impossible.
We're actually just broken.
You just remove that from your DNA.
We just pretend it's a good thing.
Yeah. Does your diet change a lot when it's like open time?
You know, no. I wish I could tell you that I was a good athlete and I did things like that, but no, I'm kind of an asshole. Like I did the whole thing like back in the end of 2018 into 2019. I was like meticulous, as in like I wouldn't do 1 grain of rice over my macros. Really? Yeah, I did it. I got down to like, 9% body fat. Like I did the whole thing. And I was pretty good about it for like 3 years in a row. And every single year I had like a stupid injury that like took me out like at games. Like 2019 I had, I like fractured my ankle like pretty bad 2 weeks out from games.
Really?
And it was like the first year where they had like 8 running events, like back to back to back to back. And then there were cuts. So I like didn't get to like compete like full on. Then 2020 was the at-home games because of COVID. And I had 3 days before the at-home game started. I had just like rolled my ankle. I stepped on my own foot doing double unders.
Really?
And then our first like workout was like this huge running workout with like burpees, and I was like, sweet. And then 2021, I felt like some of the best I'd ever felt. And I came down off a rope and the slack was too much, and I came down on the rope and had to withdraw.
So it's been your ankle every time?
It's been my ankle every single time. And so I had 3 years where I was like meticulous with my diet, my training, and then a stupid injury took me out. And I was just like, you know, CrossFit isn't paying for my livelihood. It's like other things. And I was miserable, like saying no to like going out and like hanging out with friends and like just eating what I wanted to eat and just like living my life. And so I woke up and was like, until CrossFit starts handing out like multi-million-dollar contracts, I'm gonna enjoy my life. And honestly, like, I'm happier. I still compete really well. My dreams, like, you know, everyone goes into CrossFit being like, I want to go win the CrossFit Games, and like, that changed. That changed so fast. So
I mean, that's pretty much the same thing that went on with me in weightlifting. Like, I was competing, I went to Worlds and all that stuff, traveled, and eventually I was just like, this is making me so miserable. Just like, I remember like after I won junior nationals the first time, I was like wearing my medal around, just like,
like, hey, talk to me about it.
Nobody. They're just like, I don't give a
You're
shit.
You're like, oh,
dude.
okay, cool. Yeah, so you like, I don't know, you like realize real fast there's just like way more to life.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna eat the chocolate cake.
It'll be all right.
It'll be okay.
This video is brought to you by Barbell Apparel. We have just dropped a t-shirt. The t-shirt I'm wearing right now, training. The back of it looks like this. Pretty fucking sick. And when you buy this shirt, all of the proceeds go directly towards travel expenses for this series. So if you guys don't know, I've been voluntarily lighting money on fire to make this series for you. Been traveling across the country and world. If you get one of these shirts, the proceeds go to supporting that. So if you like this series, represent it with a shirt, and that way you can donate a little bit of money to keep the series alive. I'm gonna keep doing this until my bank account runs dry, but preferably that doesn't happen. So if you can, snag one of these shirts, and they look fucking sick too. They're comfortable, they're barbell, you can train in them, they're amazing. Click the link below, it'll send you directly to that shirt. Back to the video. So when you're at the games, what is your recovery like? Because I've always wondered this, it's a lot of shit that you guys are doing, like per day.
It's essentially just like making sure you're like heavy carb loading. Like, unfortunately, you're just like constantly trying to like snack on stuff, like things that you can eat. I've always like struggled with it, but you know, just you're back there sipping on Gatorade, you're eating candy, you're like pounding down like mango sticky rice, just trying to get any kind of carbs in your body to like keep the energy up. Hydration's like a huge one. And then like just anything you can do to kind of keep your body somewhat healthy, like sitting in Normatec boots. Everyone usually like brings like a body worker. So like even in between events, you'll get like a little bit of body work done. So it's really like, that's like the hardest part of like the games. Like, I mean, like we're all, you know, fit enough to go out there and like do the work, but like it's the in-between stuff that is like a huge like factor. Doing like 3 or 4 like really hard events in a day, like you get to that 4th event and like you'll see it. I mean, there are some girls who you can just see they were like fierce competitors like in the morning, and then they're just like tanking. Like, it took me a while to kind of like find that balance as well and like find like what I needed to do. It's tough.
It looks
it's so tough.
What's the energy like going into like the last day?
That's where, I mean, that's like the separation day. Like, I think like everyone always talks about like maybe like that 3rd day being like moving day, but like for me it's the 4th day, because like you're going in just beat up, you're exhausted, your body hurts, and you have to like still compete as though it's like day 1. And like for me, that's always been like the hardest day, because even if like you're in a good, like I just did it at like Wadapalooza like last month, where like that last day, and it's just a 2-day event. Last day, final event, like you're tired. We had to do our event at like 9 p.m. It was like miserable, and I was like, I went out and like I was in contention like point wise where I could have gotten on the podium, and I just went out there knowing I was like, I don't want it that bad. Yeah. And then you like walk away and you're like, you're such an asshole. Like it's like in mental toughness. And then I know that like I didn't feel properly that day. So like my energy was like low. And so it's tough. It's like really tough.
Does like the adrenaline of being there kind of cancel it out a little bit, or?
It does, but then like you start, you know, at the end of it, like, you know, it's like the end of it. So your body kind of like has like an adrenaline dump, unless you can like almost force it to like, if you're like really excited for the event, or I don't even know. But a lot of times like that final event, no matter what day it is, like your body's kind of like already thinking about like the relaxed, like, so it's like already like just dumping everything. So then you're just exhausted. So that's usually what happens to me. You know?
Nice.
All right, maybe I'll do 2 more.
Let's go now. Nice. It's your best snatch ever?
230.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's like 105, 105 kilo snatch. So she'd be like a 75, 76 is the weight class.
They're snatching so much more than that at that weight class.
No.
Really, like, I was comparing you to the American record. I was comparing you to other people. That's how good that is.
Maddie Rogers is the other one, and she's like 112.
Oh, yeah, she went up a weight class, right? Like from what
She bounces back and forth. I think she went back down.
But what's the female weight class? Because they just changed that.
It might. Did they do is? I don't know. It might be 75 or 74. Yeah, one of those. Someone in the comments will tell me.
Yeah.
Call me an idiot.
Fact check.
Yeah. Actually.
Actually.
It's too light.
It's too light.
Too light.
The Rome Lions with the Nikes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like use those for like the first 6 months of CrossFit,
really?
like, cause you know, like when you first get into CrossFit, you buy all the things.
Yes.
I had like all the toys.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I actually just don't want to use lifting shoes.
Yeah. You don't use
actually
them at all?
don't need them.
When you snatched 230, was it in weightlifting shoes? Really?
Yeah. I mean, like I stopped wearing weightlifting shoes like really like 6 months. I was like, I really don't need them. Like I have pretty good like.
I feel like it's probably good if you are used to not using them at all.
That, and I was just like, I just had the thought that, you know, in CrossFit, like sometimes we get 1 rep maxes, but a lot of the times if we're like doing stuff, you know, we have to like pair it with things. And I was like, I don't want to have to rely on weightlifting shoes if I have to do like, you know, heavy squat cleans with rope climbs or box jumps or running. And like, you see some people like freak out. They're like, I don't know if I'm going to like try to wear lifters or not. Like, I just don't have to worry about that. So.
I remember I did an open workout. It was like the wall balls, double unders, and muscle ups one. And I like had my weightlifting shoes on untied for the wall balls. And then I just got out of them thinking that would help a lot. I mean,
of course.
I couldn't get a muscle up and I had like 6 minutes to try, so.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, you know?
There we go.
There we go.
There we go. So your like outlook and attitude towards your CrossFit career is like pretty lighthearted and fun. Like I feel like you try to not take it too seriously. What advice would you have for people that are like trying to be competitive in CrossFit and are burnt out?
I would say like you have to find like the love for it again. Like that's, and sometimes a lot of that means stepping away for a little bit and like going and doing other things and like not being strict about diet or the weightlifting cycle, or even like just go in and just do like partner style stuff. Go in and jump into like this, like the classes.
Yeah.
You know, it's just one of those things where like if you're burnt out, it usually means like you're just overtraining, like you're there too much. Like go do something else. Like it's not the end of the world if you go and like take some time off.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people just, they're like, no, I have to be on this strict regimen. I have to do this like X, Y, and Z, or I'm not going to make it. And it's like, you've got time. Yeah. It's about like consistency over like a long period of time. It's not about consistency over like if you make it to the gym like these next 3 days. Like, you know, if you take a week off, in reality, your body probably will respond really well to it.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
So I think a lot of times like people are just scared to like step away for a bit.
Yeah, I feel like there's definitely a trend in CrossFit where people, because there's so many things you need to be good at, that people get very obsessive over a lot of things.
Yeah.
And like that, weightlifting, not as much because it's like you got 2 lifts to be good at. So
yeah,
it's kind of hard to burn out. But when you're trying to be like really good at running, really good at weightlifting, and you're just trying to like, then you get into the recovery stuff like diet and you get obsessive about all this stuff. I feel like it can be very overwhelming.
It's just volume accumulation with literally everything, with training and then like also recovery and then also like excessively, you know, thinking about diet, you know, just like everything. So it's volume of thought on everything. And it's just, you just gotta chill. I swear.
We did it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Sorry about like all the like confusion. You're always welcome to come back out.
Thank you. Thanks for doing it.
Yeah, of course. Great time.
Let me know who you guys want to see on the next one. Bye.